Hey, my voice is kind of gone today, guys, so I'm not gonna be able to. You're not gonna be able to hear the sexy voices you normally hear. A little raspy today, but at least I can talk. At least it's not completely gone. I do gotta kind of take it a little bit easy here, though. Just great, great Sunday morning here today. Beautiful sunshine. I got out last night. Got over to the Cove with some friends, Dave, Lisa, Lynn, and Rob. Got over there, and great band. I don't remember the name of the band, but they were playing like all 90s music and Foo Fighters and Sublime and just a lot of really, really, really great music. Of course, you couldn't get up and you couldn't dance. You had to dance in your seat. But it was still a great time. Great crowd. Great to see everybody that was there. And of course, I was shaking my ass the entire night inside my seat. So it's just so ridiculous that you're able to, you can sit in your seat, but you can't get up and stand and dance, or else you're contagious. But anyways, it was a great night. I needed it after yesterday. Great day yesterday, really. I wanted to thank every single person that came out yesterday to the protests, and everybody, all the patriots that came out, Mike Segul and Desiree and everybody else that came out that was there to, kind of block Antifa. Because make no mistake, guys, it's not Black Lives Matter, it's Antifa. And what the group and organizations are comprised of. Every time I go out and I take a look at these groups, and you guys know I've seen them a bunch of times, they are young kids. They're just angry kids, they're angry children, and they're mad at mom and dad for whatever reason. And is it good to, want to fight the establishment? Absolutely. I applaud that. Do that all day long. But, their means by which they do it, with bullying and harassing and intimidating people, that's wrong. It's not right. And I've seen these people kick cars. I've seen them threaten people. I've seen them get in their face. They got in my face yesterday. They totally got in my face yesterday. And, it was wrong. Really, really close to my face. And, if I'm not able to exercise, some of the different trainings that I have, then, I could easily react to a situation like that. But as most of you guys know who have joined me on some of these protests, I'm usually able to kind of de-escalate the situation, no matter how volatile it is, no matter how heated it is. And I'm able to kind of bring everybody back into check, which is a good thing, because that's kind of where we need to be. At the end of the day, they've got their views, they've got their side, we've got our side, and most of everything else that we have is the same. Not with every person. There are some of the psychopaths on their side, and they've got some more deeply rooted issues embedded in them that they're trying to just lash out at everybody and everything for every reason they could possibly think of. And you can see those people right away. They're older, sometimes they're younger, and for whatever reason they hate life, and they haven't had anybody in their life saying, hey, it's okay, man, we got your back, what do you need, I'm here for you. So a lot of the times I'll be there. Our first rolling protest was the same thing. I tried to make sure that I was there for people on the opposing side. I said, hey, just so you know, we kind of think and feel the same way that you do, and they were all ridiculing us for not wearing masks, and that's a big thing on their side too. Their side is always like, oh, they're COVID deniers. Well, that just fits their narrative, that we're COVID deniers. The arguments that they make are so so simplistic. They really are. It's like they're fed every line, and it doesn't go any deeper than the surface, whatever it is that they were fed. And it's just sad that, you have somebody like Soros funding these protests, and we know that. We've seen the pages that they're doing that. We know that these people are funded. They're somewhat organized, but not really organized. They know the roles that they're all supposed to play. They have, a couple of individuals with, the cameras on all the time. They have certain individuals with, documenting. They're like writing notes. They're taking their picture, and, then they've got their attorneys. I'd love to see these attorneys, but they have their attorneys that are there to call at a moment's notice, which they did on me. And they try to get some background, they're trying to get some history, they're recording different things, but I already know all their tactics. I've only had to see them operate like 4 or 5 times in person and know that they're all paid and compensated, and that whoever is training them is not very good at their job. They're really not, because all they know how to do is blame everybody else. Like yesterday, they kept trying to say, he touched a woman, he assaulted us. They tried to run me over with their vehicle. The one guy had a Suburban, and I stood in front of his vehicle because they kept standing in front of traffic, and he kept nudging me. He kept pushing me forward with his vehicle. And in doing so, he ended up hitting one of their people who was on a bike. And he was one of the biggest. You could tell he was mentally ill. He, screaming and yelling, and he always wanted to be very agitated and edgy. But he ended up hitting him, which was hilarious. And the guy on the bike didn't even realize that it was his own guy that hit him, which made it even better. I mean, that's just what I'm trying to tell you guys is that's what we're dealing with. That's really what we're dealing with. These people, they may be smart individually, but together they're just this like mindless mob, which can be, right? It can be, but most of the group, they are, white suburbanites that they glom onto this thing. Who it is that these members of Antifa represent. They just don't. And they don't know what they stand for, and they don't know what they've done. All they know is that they watch CNBC, they watch all the mainstream media, and that, they're saying that they're good people. And that's the absolutely crazy part. Because these people have damaged every city. They have tore down statues. They have terrorized neighborhoods. They have stopped traffic. Like our groups, every single one of our protests that we've done, we've maintained the flow of traffic. We've been respectful. We've been on sidewalks. We have made sure we've gone out of our way to not disrupt the neighborhood, disrupt traffic. Police have worked with us. Buffalo law enforcement have worked with us. Lackawanna PD, all these different towns Hamburg PD that we've been in, that law enforcement has worked with us. So we can get our message out there, and we can get to help us. But, they choose not to take that route. They choose to block traffic. They choose to kick cars. They choose to terrorize older women and older men. And I see it. I saw it yesterday. It happens all the time. So, I guess what I'm trying to say about that is these guys can be a danger, and they can be a hazard, and they can be a menace. But if you're worried about, hey, Bill, it was great to see you too, brother. Good morning, Monica. Good morning, Stephanie. It was really good to see him, Bill. But what I want to say is that if you're afraid of Antifa, don't be. there's nothing to be afraid of these guys. And, I was one person yesterday, and, law enforcement, EAPD was there as well. So they were helping and assisting the entire situation. But, with one person, myself there, I was able to kind of help keep everything in check. I was there to help law enforcement do whatever I could do to make sure I had their back, that if these people claimed that the law enforcement did anything, which they did on a few occasions, I was there as a witness, and law enforcement was there for me as a witness. Now, I was happy to be there on the Patriots. I was super happy to be there with them. What I want to say, because I don't have a lot of time right now, I'm going over to my buddy Rob's house for breakfast. We're having bacon and hash brown and eggs and hopefully pancakes and everything else. So just about there. But give me 1 second here. I just got to grab my ticket. I want to talk about Stephanie's on right now, and I want to talk about a bar that I've been affiliated with for a long, long time. Have a good one. So Stephanie and her husband Andy I've known them for a long time, and Stephanie and I were getting to know each other a little bit through the page here, and we've played volleyball, and she's very competitive and I'm very competitive, so we've been at odds at different times, but this has brought us together completely. And Andy and I, we have been close and tight, and a huge supporter of his and Holidays Bar and Grill over on Harlem in West Seneca. And what's happening with their establishment is they've been shut down for 6 months, and their big source of revenue are league fees from volleyball, and they haven't been able to generate those league fees because they've been shut down. And the health department continuously harasses them over and over and over again, just like so many other bars and restaurants that they are harassing. And you've got people that have been playing football. I've been playing football. You've got people that have been playing softball. You've got people that are bowling. You've got all of these people that get to do all of these different sports. And Stephanie and Andy and everybody that's a part of Holidays, every single person that loves to play, we are unable to play. I used to play like 3 and 4 nights a week, sometimes 5. And the teams that you have, they're family, and you've taken that away from not only Andy and Stephanie, but every other person that played in that league. So they had leagues Monday through Saturday, and most of the nights were 6 to 10:30 on 2 different courts, and some nights it was 5:45 to 11. So that has been taken away and stripped away from everybody for months now. 6 months it's been taken away. Excuse me, guys, just got to pay this toll. Good morning. How you doing? Good. Have a good one. Yeah. So it's been taken away from everybody that played there, and I say this all the time. I thank Andy so many times because the family that I've got Rob, the guy that I'm going over to see today. I met him at the post office originally, but then I met him at volleyball and we got closer. And guys, if I go into Holidays, like everybody there knows me. If I bring a girlfriend in, to Holidays or whatever, to watch, they're like, does everybody here want to have sex with you? Like, everybody knows you, and they're coming up and giving you big hugs and saying, hey, hi. And I'm like, well, I guess when you play somewhere long enough where, you try to be nice, because I wasn't always nice at Holidays, and I'm not always nice still. Sometimes my competitive nature comes out, but, I had to be sat in a timeout, and, I had to be better. I had to learn how to be better. And, but that taught me that, being there, but also the family and friends and the respect that you have with so many people that they're family. You love these people. You play against them, and you're going to be competitive, and you're going to battle against them. I know it sounds silly to say battle again, volleyball, but you battle against them, and it's just fun. When you're done, you go back to the bar, you sit down at the bar, and you have a drink. And if you got your ass kicked, or if you kicked their ass, you end up just sitting down, and that's it. And it's a great time. And like I said, hundreds of people, thousands probably over the years that I know and I've gotten to know like their family. And that's been stripped away, not just from me, not just from Andy, not just from Stephanie, but from every single person that plays there. Like I said, if you do the math, there's 6 people on a team. I think there's one night that there's 4, but you have 6 people on a team that are playing both sides. That's 24 people in a 45-minute period of time that have lost out. No, wait, did I do the math wrong? No, I did it right. It's early. I haven't eaten breakfast yet, and I was protesting, and I lost my voice. But they're not the only. That's not the only situation that's happened. You know, I mean, we could talk about it happening over and over and over and over again, all over the place, and you know, it's just sad that it's happened. So the health department, the county health department, they came in and they ended up they were going to have what Andy and Stephanie were going to do is they were going to have a blind draw. Now, what the blind draws are groups of people. You have just individuals, and you can have small groups of people that join, but they were going to do a blind draw. Now, it's outside courts. It's not inside. Health department found out about it. Somebody reported them. These spies that are out there thinking they're doing the Lord's work, or they're doing, you know, their country service, and they're saving people, and they're not. They ended up closing it down. So when you do a blind draw, I don't know what the limits are, but I want to say that there's probably about, you know, maybe 100 people. And, you know, and everybody has a good time. And it's usually on a Saturday, and it takes place all day. So the health department shut them down. And there's so many other businesses that the health department are shutting down, you know, and cutting off their ability to make money. And that was never, ever, ever supposed to be government's. It was never supposed to be government's role and their right to do that. But because they've gotten so big and they've gotten so unchecked, and it's, again, I want to say that government isn't that big, that we can take them apart. It's only a few hundred people in each town, and that's it. And then in each county, it's just a few hundred people. That's it. You know, we can disassemble it. We can battle it. You know, and what I want to tell Stephanie here, if she's listening still, and to share with Andy and any other restaurant owner out there, August 31st, that's a Monday, 5:30 p.m., Raphael's out in Hamburg. We are going to have a meeting, and we are going to discuss how we take your rights back, and how we're going to use the groups that we have and all of the patriots and all the fighters to help give you your restaurant and your way of living back to you. And, you know, now Stephanie's a chiropractor, so, you know, she's been able to do her practice, but, you know, so they're still, you know, they still have income, but so many other people don't. So many other restaurants have lost their businesses because of this lockdown, the government overreach, and, you know, because of spies and health departments and all that bullshit. But we are going to, not too far. It's just to Rob's house. He's at Blaisdell. I'm already here, so it's about a 15-minute ride. Just seems longer. But I've got a plan. I've put together the plan. We have people that are going to act. Yesterday at the protest that we had in Blaisdell. I'll be right on. The protest, that's Rob. There he is. He's playing Susie Homemaker this morning. He's making me breakfast. I don't know, that never happened. Every girl I ever date, I end up making them breakfast. Nobody cooks anymore. But well, let's go out, or we're gonna have a bagel. Bagel. We're gonna have a bagel on Sunday. Come on, let's get over that. Let's make some real breakfast. No, I shouldn't say that. Everybody's been awesome that I've ever dated. I'm blessed to have had them in my life. Yeah, but anyways, he's my date today, Rob. He's cooking me breakfast. I got bacon. I brought bacon, low sodium bacon from Tops. It must be the pork. It must be pork is back up and running because it was down to like $6 for a pound, so that's not too bad. But anyways, getting back to Raphael's, guys, if you're gonna go, if you want to go, please respond to me and write me a message. Feel free to contact me on my cell phone. And I'm going to give that number out. I know they say don't give that. I got nothing to be afraid of. You guys want to, reach out to me on Messenger. I'm not going to give it out here, but I'll give it out, to you in Messenger. And if you want to come, let me know. And I kind of got to be a little bit careful today because Antifa's probably watching. Ordinarily, I would just give it out. But I gave my name out to a few people yesterday, so they're probably checking in and watching and trying to get as much information as they possibly can from me so that they can come out to my place. But anyways, Raphael's August 31st. And if Antifa's going to come on out, guys. Join us. It'll be hilarious to see that. Let's see how Hamburg PD treats you guys. Let's see how the Patriots that show up there are going to treat you guys. That would be amazing. I would love it. Actually, Antifa, come on out. I would love to see you guys there. Show up for that. But anyways, what we're going to go over is what we're going to do to combat the health department. We're going to talk about what we can do with the people who are protesting, where we're going to go, calling attention to each individual health department official, calling attention to each business that has been shut down by that health department official. We're going to have their names, we're going to have their faces, we're going to have their addresses, and we are going to make sure that we're protesting in front of their homes. We're going to make sure that they're not able to perpetrate this on anybody anymore. And the biggest key right now until August 31st, guys, is get those cameras out. I know it's scary and you don't want to do it. And if you're working with a health department official that is good, then I get it. You don't want to do it. But if you're working one that's not good, pull those video cameras out. Record them, record law enforcement, get their names, share those videos with us. We'll put those videos up on all of our social media pages. We'll put them up in Facebook. We're going to create a YouTube page, BitChute. When I get to this, we're creating a restaurant coalition, and what the restaurant coalition is going to be, it's going to be an actual real group other than like a chamber of commerce that does nothing for anybody, or that restaurant coalition that's like based out of New York City that probably they're doing nothing for people. They're just taking people's money. What this restaurant coalition is going to be, it's going to be a group of local restaurant and bar owners that we will lay out a plan that is actionable and executable every single time the health department or SLA come out and menace and terrorize you and try to shut your business down. So many friends of mine that have had their businesses shut down, and there's groups of people, and I took screenshots, ladies. I know that there was a post a couple of days ago that I was talking about this, that you all want to get involved, and I've got screenshots of all your names. I'll remember to reach out to you so that, because that information is valuable, that you guys want to help, because I need that help. I can't do everything. And, putting you guys in charge of being able to help restaurants, take phone calls, take text messages when the health department is showing up at these establishments, so that we can show up, so that the Patriots can show up, so that the Marching Patriots can show up. Their numbers are growing. They had 64 people show up at the last protest over in East Aurora. They've got another one this Thursday at 6:30 on Delaware and Sheridan over by the Tops there, and they're going to do it. There's another story mentioned that Mike mentioned. I can't remember what it was, but it's Delaware and Sheridan this Thursday, 5:30 p.m. And what that's doing, guys, is it's calling attention to everything that's happening, in our town, in our county, to our friends and family that own restaurants and bars, like Andy and Stephanie, like my buddy Joe. like everybody else that owns a restaurant and a business that's it's essentially being terrorized right now for no reason, no good reason at all, because all these large establishments have been able to be open for a long time without masks. No increase in COVID cases at all, but they want to hold all these small businesses accountable, and they want to shut them down. And how many businesses you drive by that are shut down? These small businesses, these small restaurants that have been around forever, guys, they're never opening up. They put everything, their heart and soul, into those businesses and those establishments to open up. And you know how tough it's going to be to come back? It's so tough to operate making like 10 or 20% of what you were making for 6 months. Some businesses have been doing great, right? The business, the Dorothy that they own, is a Holidays Bar and Grill over in Harlem in West Seneca. So, you know, you're on your own, you're on an island when you're working these restaurants, you know, and Michael over at Town Shanty, and Bill over at Clinton Bar and Grill, and just so many people. You know, my buddy Joe Battaglia, who owns Buffalo Sports Bar and Grill now, he's been able to do well. You know, he's had takeout, but he's in a neighborhood where he can benefit from that. Not everybody else is. So I'm probably not going to come on later today, you know, given the condition of my voice, but it was great seeing all of you today. Great. I'm going to go eat some breakfast now. Enjoy your day. I'll make sure that I keep, an ear to the ground with everything that's happening. Hopefully it'll be a quiet day. I get to enjoy it. I'll go get to see my mom for a little bit. I'll go get to see my dad for a little bit. They're both out in this area as well, so it's kind of it'll be a nice day. Maybe try to get to the beach. Joe was going to go to the beach, but I don't know. He's probably going to wake up late. He goes to sleep late and then go to bed late. But I got something else going on tonight. I can't remember what it is, but I'll look at the calendar and figure it out. You guys enjoy your day. Love you all. And if anything happens, let me know. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.